Basically, Paul, I was let go this morning as manager of the under-17s. I've held that position for the last 5 seasons. And my understanding of the situation is that I was interviewed by a journalist during the week, and in the interview I criticised the running of the club, and this has led to me being left go.
Obviously, there was some information in whatever was in that interview that the chairman took exception to a lot of things have kind of gone wrong in terms of the off-the-field structures at the club. What exactly was involved in the interview, do you think, that the chairman wasn't too pleased with?
Basically, my criticism and complaints were about how the underage setup has been kind of abandoned, really, by the people that are running the club at the moment. I think the bottom line is that the kids are really being abandoned, really, by the people running the club. We've had to cancel training sessions a number of times because we hadn't the money to pay up front. Our under-17 team, we train out in Airog. We rent the facility off them twice a week for 2 hours twice a week, so we've good quality sessions, but we've an agreement with them that we have to pay before we get on the field. So 2 times in the last 2 weeks we've had to cancel training 2 hours beforehand because the money wasn't there to pay the people out in Airog.
Now, Cork City, Pat, obviously have a fantastic record over the past few years in nurturing good young players. We've seen a lot of them going across channel, the likes of David Myler. We see Kevin Long now, a huge player in the senior team. When you're trying to bring on these young players, it's like you're trying to make it a constant conveyor belt, but it seems like it's impossible to do under those conditions.
It is, because if you're not training, kids aren't willing to come to your club. But there's a couple of guys out there now who, there's one guy in particular playing in the under-17 league, not with Cork City, but I tried to sign him. He's going to be a top player in England the next couple of years. He wouldn't come near us because he's afraid that he'll be used just to make money. A transfer that he might have to England might be, jeopardised by coming to Cork City. When you have kids saying that they don't want to come to Cork City because it could hinder their career, that's when you definitely know you have problems. We've trained in Bishopstown up till kind of when the evenings got dark, and then we moved out to Airog, and we just weren't given the money in time for that place. We're still there. We're paid up to the 3rd of November. It remains to be seen whether we'll get the money whether whoever takes over from me will get the money for the rest of the season. I hope they do, because, there's great talent there. There's huge talent in Cork, and the guys we have are fantastic. But, I just think that a lot of them could turn their backs on Cork City, because why would they want to come to a club who doesn't train? Why would they want to come to a club who doesn't own their own pitch? There's a good under-17 team there in Corinthians. We didn't get one of those players this season. We'd usually get a few from Corinthians, but the young fellas up in Corinthians want to stay there because they know they're going to train every Tuesday and every Thursday night. They know that nothing's going to be cancelled on them, that they're going to be treated with proper respect and treated properly.
A League of Ireland club, you'd expect high standards for the young players. It's a huge disappointment for you, I'm sure, to be let go after so many years with the club. Would you be worried for the future of the club going forward?
To be quite honest with you, Paul, I'd say that the club is in big trouble. I'd say, there doesn't seem to be a whole interest in keeping the underage section going. And can you tell me one player playing in the Aircom League who's never played underage football? They don't come out of the sky. You have to bring them up. You have to nurture talent. You can't just decide we're not having an underage structure. No, I know Tom hasn't said we're not having an underage structure, but the one he's running isn't being run very well. There is great coaches there as well. Great coaches, great kids. There's great people behind the scenes. And like I kept saying, that there's huge talent in Cork, and there's no need for us to be, paying a lot of money to get players in from outside when we have a city here full of kids that are, talented,